possibly the funniest comedy show live on Zoom is heading to you, YouTube. Here it comes. We have a super fun lineup. My name is Chuck Roy. Your co-host tonight is Mike Langworthy.
Hello.
He's worthy of your Lang, I'll tell you that, everyone. Hold on. Was that wasn't, I don't even think that was officially a pun. I think it was just butchering the English language in order to taunt my co-host. When those curtains open, ladies and gentlemen, we know it's the start of the ApocLips Comedy Show. Would you please a nice round of applause for your host? There's Mike, and here comes Chuck. Look at that. God damn, we're fun. It's a hot show, everybody. Mike and I, we put the fat in Zoom fatigue. I'll tell you that, everybody. We're the ones who put the tiger into the woods. That was us. What I want to know is Tiger Woods going to wear red on his last day of surgery? Mike. There are jokes coming. You can groan this early, everybody. It's the ApocLips Comedy Show. It's what we do. Today, we're brought to you by Vaccines Are Coming. Vaccines are coming. So, we are the Paul Revere of vaccine notification. Mike, a hot show here today. We have 36 comedians to introduce you to and prizes to give away. So those of you who are new to the show, buckle up. We got tons of shit to give away to you. This is where we create all the magic. Cece, I know you knew. Mike and I, we host from the Colorado Comedy Show's Virtual Events Center. This is our writing room. It's really just my one desk, but everything else has to be socially distant. So I like to put one newspaper on one desk and then go to the other to ponder. Mike, good to see you. Glad you're carrying your Golden Globe. That's always helpful. And
how will they learn?
Right. Speaking of learning, that's my Kennedy Center Award for Innovative Teaching hanging out right there in the window. Let's not dwell. What we're talking about is you got two amazing award-winning comedians. And we're starting the show, Mike, Mike was told by friends that he needs to mind his manners. So today, we're taking you to two of his manners so he can mind Mike,
gold in this one.
On the first one here, I know you had complained that the lawn had been trimmed to 3/4 inches, and you said 3.25 centimeters. You were using the appropriate measuring system for your Irish country home, and the grounds crew wasn't. What resolution do you propose here? I think this manner is looking well, but needs a little bit more of your minding.
Get this goddamn mix to do a day's work, for Christ's sake.
Right. I mean, what can you get for a nickel? God damn it. You certainly can't get good lawn care.
Goddamn people from third world countries.
Well, life is tough, Mike, for you between Iraq and your hard place. This house features a man-made lake. No big deal, Mike. I have one of those at 3 a.m. next to my toilet nights a week. Hello.
I didn't know you were Irish.
50. Okay. It's a fine country home, Mike. And this bridge, it's just like USAA. It's totally covered. That's my insurance company joke, everybody. Probably should have gotten that joke insured. Mike, not a lot of people own their own covered bridges. You own two. Is there a way you could share one with the rest of us, or?
Yeah, sure. Great amounts of money sent to my home in the sake of a wire transfer. And I'm happy to share the one in back there, the one that leaks. And then, of course, behind that's the That's the gardener's house. Behind that, there's the gatehouse. Beyond that, there's a roadway, and beyond that is the manor that we saw in the previous picture.
Oh, I understand. It used to be crocodiles in the moat there. Now just Mike's personality keeps everyone away.
What?
Who could do that? Why would I say such a horrible thing? One last manner, Mike. This one a little more French style, which, you know, I think when you're staying there, you call it Le Pampus.
A little pied-à-terre, or as I like to call it, an acre à terre.
Right. This is just where you go to get your nails done. Right. That's just a fun spot. So I feel good, Mike. I feel like we've minded your manners. Any show where we start just by making fun of you and your immense wealth and inherited family properties is a good day for me. Today, Mike, we're burdened by a huge roster of comedians. So how do we get started? But what with the first, or possibly the second burden? Second is the first. Everybody, please welcome Jeffrey Burden to our show.
Hey.
Jeffrey.
Hi, thank you.
Burden.
Yes.
Now, if you laugh, it's just going to take longer, everybody. Go ahead, Jeff.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mike. Thank you, Chuck. Yes, I'm Jeffrey Burden the second. My parents decided, let's make him Shakespearean. Fantastic. Guys, you know, speaking of my father, I get along with my father. We didn't grow up. I didn't grow up with him, right? He moved out when I was 3. I saw him a year, once or twice a year, right? And you know, he's a very passionate veteran of the armed forces, and almost a ApocaLips Now type passion. You know, he said, I'm on the phone with him. He says, Jeffrey, you know, those people, those veterans that died in Vietnam, Jeffrey, they died for you. Like, wow, Dad, that's amazing. You couldn't even live with me past 3 years old, and they're dying for me. Wow. I picture that conversation in 1965. You know, Sergeant Burden, in 13 years, you're gonna have a baby boy. We talked it over. We're gonna die for him. We're glad to do it. We're glad to do it. You know. I don't know. He's a bit of a conspiracy theorist too. Everybody, yeah. He talks about this vaccination. You know, look. Here's the deal. I'm indifferent, but he's like, Jeffrey. You don't hear of people dying of the flu anymore. They're just dying of COVID. I'm like, Dad, you lost your hearing 5 decades ago. You can't hear anything. You can't. What the hell, Dad? Jesus, you know. He's very poetic with me too. When I'm getting off the phone, right before I get off the phone, you know, he's like, Jeffrey, I just want to tell you, I love you like the blue in the sky and the water and the rain. I'm like, Dad, I get it. You like me like the brown in the poo. It's fine. I get all right. I love you. It's fine, Dad. You know. I don't know. I'm trying to stay more positive. To be honest with you, everybody, I really am. But I struggle, right? I was getting ready for work the other day, and what can I say? I didn't want to go to work. I'm like, if I go to work today, I swear to God, I'm gonna fucking kill myself. So I call off. And my wife comes downstairs. She's like, did you call off? I said, yeah, but honey, I'm gonna take you to the restaurant. We're gonna have a great day, right? I take her to this Amish restaurant, and if you've never had Amish fried chicken, it is amazing. It's your mouth. It's orgasmic for your mouth. It's delicious. I can't eat it quickly enough, everybody. And my wife says to me, oh my God, she picks up her cell phone, and I'm like, what's going on? She's like, somebody's just shot themselves at your work. I'm like, I know the place is terrible. You don't want to be there. You don't want to work. It's just delicious. I couldn't eat. Maybe if I would have gotten to the guy, maybe if I would have arrived and I could have stopped the guy with some Amish fried chicken. Don't do it. There's more to it. Don't do it. I don't know. It's crazy, you guys. I don't know. I've been paying attention to science, everybody, right? Because it's important, right? It's very important. Recently, I have read, if you will, that scientists have developed a bacteria that turns plastic into water. I'm so excited about it because, our oceans are loaded with plastic. It's very good for the ocean. But, Caitlyn Jenner's going to have to be careful when she's splashing herself through that water. Whoa. You saw the Wizard of Oz. Yeah, right. So, I've got this, you guys, I've got this thing about napping. I love to nap. I love it's every day I have to nap, right? But especially when I'm driving in this middle of the afternoon, I got to pull over. So I do that. I pull over. This one day, I pull over. I go to snooze when I sleep. And this lady comes up to my car and she knocks on my window. And I'm like, and she's like, "Excuse me, sir. I don't mean to disturb you, but there is a black man looking through cars and he's coming your way. I just wanted to let you know." I'm like, "Well, if he's gonna let me sleep, I'm okay with that. It's okay." Jesus, really? I don't know, you guys. What do you do? I can be a little excited. I can, whatever. It happens. My mother, I remember when I would be excited, my mother would want to calm me down. And my mother would tell me terrifying stories about the devil, right? And she would say, I had a friend that one time said she was going to go dancing with the devil and she never came back that night. Ugh, right? And my brother lost so much sleep that year because I would wake him up and ask him to take me to the bathroom. I'm scared of the devil. What do I do? It's crazy, you guys. She would get me in this headlock. Literally, she would do like a jujitsu headlock, on me when I was 7 years old. And if I wasn't listening to her terrible rules, she would put red hot sauce on her fingers and stick it in my mouth. Yes. But you know what? I put that shit on everything now. So in your face, right? I put on my wife's fingers, but what are you doing? Well, my mom used to do it. No, I'm kidding.
Whoa.
Yes, too much. Oh, is that wrong? Really? Across the line. I thought this was a comedy show. No, you guys, I don't know. I don't know how much time I have. Forgive me.
You did great.
Thank you so much.
Look at that.
Thank you. Have a wonderful evening. I'm Jeffrey Burton.
Right. I don't know how much time you had left. I just know how much time I've booked on this show.
Thank you, Chuck.
Cece, you're just going to see a shit ton of comedy. I hope you're ready. Mike, this is my plan, and I'm going to ask you to introduce the next person in a moment. We're going to go with Dickie Bill and then Von Sprecken. Then we'll have Raghu Adhibatla and Ned Rice. I'm going to check from Jessica, see if she's got any jokes she wants to do before the round robin. And then a round robin, Shakespearean Porn Titles. Then we're giving shit away. We'll talk to Stacy. Dear Comics at the Bar is here. Stephen Young is here. And then Mary Kennedy is the big finale, and it's going to be goddamn fun. So those of you watching on the YouTube, buckle up. Cece, thanks for being here. Mike, what can you tell us about our next comedian?
Dickey Bill Wagner.
Yes.
Never liked the name. If you're not wearing a loud shirt and a f-stop guitar, Dickey Bill Wagner is just too much name. That's the way I say. Hell of a guy. He's a hell of a guy and a hell of a comedian. Please welcome Dickey Bill Wagner, ladies.
Right. Properly named and very fun and funny. Dickey Bill Wagner, everybody.
Hey. We can differ.
That's why we love Mike. He likes my name secretly, but it's
I'm trying to get
Schtick.
it.
Shaking stick, Schtick. Shaking stick as much as you can shake at. Shaking my shtick, man, got me in trouble that one time. That's another story for another meeting, so we're not going to go there today. I had to look it up. I had to look up the word shtick because even though I got a GED, I don't know what everything means. And it turns out it's hard to spell.
Yeah.
Hard to say, shtick. That's hard, man. I don't know. So Schtick means bag. My bag. Papa's got a brand new bag. My bit. So you're gonna get my shtick. I might throw out some shtick alerts.
Hello.
It's really sticky. I don't know.
Hope you don't get stuck.
My shtick is getting old, man. It's old. It's obvious it's getting old. You know. Here's something for you to visualize. When I'm naked, from behind, I look like somebody's holding up a frog. All right. All right. Was that nice? Was that nice? Who's hungry? Huh? I want to know. I want to know who it is. And I tell you what, I look for new qualities in my friendships now. You know, when I was young, I liked my friends to rock and roll party. I did. Now I like my friends to be CPR certified. Shtick alert, people. Shtick alert. I don't know. I always wanted to be a rock star. I mean, guitars and loud shirts. I mean, that's part of the rock star image.
Hell yeah.
It's part of the deal, man. And I liked it. I liked it since I was a kid. My favorite band, Kiss. They're getting old too. They had the End of the Road tour, you know, and it was at the Pepsi Center. Walked in just like the old days. It reeked, but of icy hot. It's icy hot, lots of ice hot. It's that strong liniment that Kiss uses to keep their hips loose. You know, they're still trying those moves, but they shouldn't. And you know, I started a Kiss tribute band called Suck, and you can Google us, but turn that safe search on because you will never find it. It's like 14 pages back. Google, and that's nowhere to be if you're trying to sell something. You know what I mean? And the closest I got to being a rock star, playing lead guitar in the church worship band, people. One day, you got to play the gigs where you get them, you know? They didn't like how I showed up with my big hair, my jet black spandex that showed my shtick. And when the pastor would say, praise the Lord, I'd shout, hell yeah. Thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you. I appreciate that laugh. It was fun. It's shtick, people. It's my shtick. I always wanted to be a rock star. Always did. But I go to rock and roll parties sometimes, you know, and this is universal for rock and roll party. Whenever you're doing it, you're doing this rock and roll party. I was driving home, pissing in a McDonald's cup, and I got pulled over. There's going to be weaving. You're driving and you're pissing. It's a great big cup, a large, you know. And got pulled over. The cop sticks his head in the window, says, "Hey, you've been drinking?" I said, "No." He said, "Get out of the car." And I'm like, "Okie dokie, Smokey." Because I hate to hear get out of the car, you know? It's always 3 days before I'm allowed to get back in the car. Every time. Every time. Tonight was no exception. He hands me a machine and says, blow. Remember the rock and roll party. I heard suck. We didn't get a reading. But I did get the whole thing in my mouth. Thank you. Even the officer was impressed. He was like, damn. But I was under arrest. An officer bloodhound searching the car for clues. And he comes up with the McDonald's cup, the great big McDonald's cup. And he says, "What's this?" It smells like alcohol. I said, "It used to be." Oh, he got aggressive. He was like, "What?" I thought, oh my God, he's going to kill me. But then all of a sudden, a 7-inch tall Gene Simmons appears on my left shoulder. He says, "Don't worry about it, man. Cops don't kill white people." Right. So I got my privilege all worked up and I said, "It's piss. Take a sip." Cops don't kill white people, but they will tase him while handcuffed. I know, shocking. If the bladder's full, you'll piss some more. Lots and lots more. That's shtick, folks. That's my other conscience part is a 5-inch tall Dr. Fauci. You know, he gives good advice, but he's such a bummer. Who wants to listen to him? You know, who wants to listen to that guy? And he's like, you should have played it safe. Stop showing these people your shtick. I just showed you the tip, folks. Just the tip. Thank you.
Hello, Dickie Bill Wagner, ladies and
Hey,
gentlemen. Dickie Bill Wagner.
ladies and gentlemen. Whoa. Just showed me the tip. Well, that's a night's sleep I'm not going to get.
That's another reason why we don't have a tip jar.
I worked a place.
I worked for tips.
in Tel Aviv where they had a foreskin jar.
Oh, no.
Oh, shut up. Don't you be fucking free, folks.
I think that was an appropriate groan. I think it was an appropriate groan. I think
It was.
Because I'm going to have this out with you in private chat.
Right.
He's one of my favorites in the greater Denver area, and he hosts an open mic at Epic Brewery. Is that the name of it?
Epic Brewing, yeah, in Denver.
7 Mountain Time for those of you who are coming to us from across the country. It's a good chance for Mary to hop in the car as soon as she's done with her set, so she can make it. You're gonna love him. Please welcome Von Sprecken, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on? Everybody pretty high right now?
Hello.
Yeah. I'm just assuming. I don't know. It's been a long pandemic. It's what you got to do. What you got to do. I usually don't talk about drugs in my comedy, mostly because my phone hears me and I get weird Instagram ads for DUI lawyers, which we really have a very good DUI lawyer. I don't know why they should know that. I've been getting high for a really long time. I remember, let's see, actually way back when I was like 13 years old, I got caught smoking my first cigarette, which like a lot of people forget that's the first drug most kids try. But my mom did the thing parents do, you know, where she's like, oh, you like cigarettes? We're going to finish that pack, you know, and it was gross and supposed to make me quit. It didn't, but supposed to. And then I remember at 14, I got caught drinking, and she did the thing that only psycho parents do. She's like, oh, you like drinking, do ya? You're going to finish that bottle. Yeah, and I was like, I'm going to die. She said, you should have thought of that. Stop being a pussy. And you know what? She was right. It was a bottle of triple sec. It was margarita mixer, you know, orange liqueur. I was not a hardcore 14-year-old. Sometimes mom's right. Drink up. Stop being a pussy. But so I finished the bottle and it was gross, and you know. But then you can imagine how glad I was at 15 years old to discover marijuana. Yeah, just you like weed, do ya? Well, you're gonna smoke all the weed. Finally, when'd you get cool, Mom? This is all right. Yeah, let's do this. We're gonna smoke. I get caught on purpose. Like I was gonna take a nap anyway. So what? You know. Of course, you can imagine my sheer terror at 16 to discover LSD. Yeah. Oh, you like acid, do ya? Well, get ready to learn the truth about the JFK assassination. Should have thought of that. Stop being a pussy. That wasn't even my mom. That was my toaster. So that was a weird year. Real weird year. Remember the last time I did acid? I saw God. He says hi. Said, what do you want me to tell the people? You know, what's the message? What do I tell everyone? He said, he wants y'all to know you bleed like that because you don't floss. I'm pretty sure I met God. It was I don't know, like I was, you know, the drugs were kicking in and like there was a bright light and a soft voice, and I could have just been really fucked up at the dentist again. It's happened before. No, I remember thinking like he's just saying, you know, like sit still, keep your mouth open. I'm almost done. I'm like, no, that's God. He sounds like my priest.
Oh.
Thanks. I'm off the hook now.
So yeah, I started doing drugs really young, and then eventually, let's see, so it was like 14, 15, 16. I think it was like 22 when I finally discovered rehab. Rehab was a fun time. Yeah, that was, well, it turns out having one coping mechanism for all of life's problems was not a useful strategy. Yeah, it's, you know, life requires a lot of different skills, right? Like it's I like to compare it to a sport where like you need everything kind of working in concert. Like if you want to be good at football, you got to have your speed, your agility, your strength, you know, teamwork, like all these different things need to work together. But doing drugs is a bullshit sport. Doing drugs is a lot like bowling. Bowling doesn't make you good at anything except more bowling, and I will not apologize for that. Okay, that is how it's true. Okay, if someone they always tried to scare me off drugs. If they would have just taken me to the bowling center and been like, this is what you fucking look like, okay? You and all your friends. Just on a serious night, like a league night, just like, look at these people. They think they're having fun. They think they're so cool. So what are you going to do? You can smoke crack. You can be a pro bowler. Either way, you're going to be spending a lot of time in alleys, mister. Okay.
Hello. Hello.
Plus, it turns out I don't really need to do drugs. It turns out my brain is just crazy enough without them. Here's something I thought of recently. Isn't it fucked up that, you know, here in Denver, we've got an aquarium. Those fish are a mile above sea level and they have no fucking idea. Like, I like to think there's one fish that knows, but they all just think he's crazy. They're like, I don't know, man. Still feels pretty wet, you know. Lay off the seaweed, bro. You know what? I'm gonna leave it there. I had another joke, but it is way too long, and I know we got a lot of comics on, so I'm just gonna say thank you, and that's my time. Thank you so much.
You tell me you wrote the bowling joke off the alley line alone, and then
Actually, you know what? I came to that later, which was really crazy. Just yeah.
I
Also, I
love
got
it.
a friend who's a pro bowler, and he hates me for that joke, and I don't care.
Yeah, well, I admire your courage for saying you got a friend who's a pro bowler.
It takes balls.
That's great. Rehab was
Right.
fine. Got a little something in the chat you might like to look at there, Vaughn.
Mhm.
And our next performer is coming to us from Missouri. So he's going to have to show me. Please welcome Yale.
Hey, yeah. Not only am I in Missouri, I'm in St. Louis, Missouri, otherwise known as the former home of the Bowling Hall of Fame. It moved. St. Louis is so it's so bad that we were determined to be too boring to host the Bowling Hall of Fame. So there's that. Hi, I'm Yale. I'm 52 years old and I still haven't figured out that I do not have the body type to carry off bold horizontal stripes. So I'm sorry. As if you couldn't tell by the decor, I am coming to you tonight from my basement because if I was upstairs right now, I would be competing for volume with the Lifetime movie network that my wife is watching. For those of you who don't know what the Lifetime movie network is, number one, count your blessings. Number two, just understand, try to envision if you can, the worst written scripts ever acted out by the least talented actors ever, and you've got the Lifetime movie network in a nutshell. I mean, it was so bad. As I was coming down to do the show tonight, my wife, of course, was watching one, and I asked her what it was about, and she says, oh, this is one where some psychopath kidnaps a bunch of orphans. And I gave her kind of a quizzical look, and I said, I don't think you're using the right verb. I don't think you can technically kidnap an orphan. I think that's adoption. Okay. Those kids are happy as can be. I mean, the first time in their life they're feeling wanted. And that's an emotional high that they're going to ride for probably the remaining 10 to 15 minutes of their lives, depending on how this particular script progresses. It's either that or she's watching HGTV, because there's nothing like having a spouse that just passively aggressively reminds you that you are neither handy nor wealthy. She really enjoys the Property Brothers, and for those of you who don't know, I think they're twins. Not that I care enough to really check the accuracy on that, but one of them is a contractor and the other one is a real estate agent. And so I kind of played along with it one night, and I said, you mean to tell me that this one is a contractor and the other one sells houses and their last name is Property? How ironic is that? And she just shakes her head and says, you are the biggest fucking idiot in the world. That's not irony, that's coincidence. And if she's not watching HGTV, she's watching Dr. Phil, or as I like to call him, Mr. Phil. He is, yes, He has a doctorate, but his doctoral thesis was written on the psychological dimensions of rheumatoid arthritis. Okay. So, unless you're, taking your family problem to Dr. Phil, and that family problem is that grandma screams in terror every time she tries to pick up a cast iron skillet, Dr. Phil is not qualified to assist you. Okay. I mean, to put things in perspective, I'm a lawyer. Okay. I have a Juris Doctor. Okay. I'm a doctor of jurisprudence. I can fix your traffic ticket. I cannot fix your fucked up family. I know my limitations. Accordingly, Dr. Phil, as far as I'm concerned, is Mr. Phil. Okay. Now, behold this segue. Okay. While we're on the topic of Phils, I want to talk about Mr. Phil Collins. Okay. Mr. Phil Collins is the greatest musician in the history of popular music. And the reason why I say this is that he went platinum on his first 6 solo albums. Okay. That is a remarkable accomplishment, given the fact that his face is on all 6 of those platinum albums. That's right. He plastered his face on the cover of his first 6 solo albums, and millions of people bought them anyway. If that is not the most successful musician in the history of popular music, I don't know what is. And with that, I bid thee farewell until the round robin, because I have got a bunch for you tonight.
Awesome.
My name's Yale Hollander.
Awesome.
Thank you. And
Yale Hollander. Yale, what is the genesis of your hatred for Phil Collins?
I'll give you the answer to that, but it's going to take one more night.
Right. You really filled me up with those jokes today, everybody.
Why don't you all take it on down to Salisbury Plain and enjoy yourselves separately? All right. So I was going to type this into the chat, but I'll just say it out loud. Phil Collins is Phil Collins' stage name. His birth name is Humpty Dumpty.
Perfect.
Buck, how would you like to introduce our next act?
I'm gonna do that. The next act may not have even known they were next.
I don't know that they're next. So
He's if he was a spaghetti sauce, he would be known as the Great Raghu.
Now I know who's next.
So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Raghu Adhibatla.
Hey. What's up, guys? So we're trying to switch insurance, and I called Geico. And they spent 15 minutes trying to pronounce my name. So that didn't work well. I speaking of talking to people on the phone, tech support or any kind of customer service, I know they're Indian because they can pronounce my name. So they're not. That's Rick from tech support. I'm on to you, man. Like you. I know it. So we have 2 kids, and as parents, we're always lying to them. We do it, guys. You have to, no, the store. It's not a store. It's a museum. You can't touch that stuff. It's just to look at, guys. Or I tell my daughter, if you go to bed early, I will buy you that unicorn. Don't worry. You will get it. Or sometimes you have to tell your kids, hey, what you just saw was me trying to teach mom how to do yoga. So gotta do that, guys. I was watching American Idol, and actually, some of the past stuff too. I like the auditions and all that, but I was thinking about it that they're judging the wrong people here. I think what they really need to judge is the friends who think that their friends can sing. Like, my friends told me I sound like Alicia Keys. No, you sound like her cat. you really shouldn't be on this show. You know, we're trying to apply for an Indian visa, and you know, the Indian consulate, they're pretty crazy. They make you do the run around, whatever. But I was trying to apply for it, and then they were trying to make me prove that I'm Indian origin. Aside from
Oh,
aside from my long name and the fact that my passport says that I'm Indian origin, I could always tell them the story of me snagging 30 packets of ketchup from the last McDonald's order I had. So that's right. You know, here's the thing about couples with no kids. Okay. We got friends with no kids, and you know, my brother, and you know, they have no kids. Him and his wife, they came to visit, and it's always the couples with no kids that want to give my son a big Nerf gun and my 8-year-old daughter a wireless karaoke machine. always the fact, guys. I'm gonna end on this. Here's the thing. I went to Walmart, you know, because I wanted to buy something, you know, some stuff, and I couldn't find what I was looking for. So I quickly went home, took a shower, shaved, put on deodorant, body spray, and went to Target. Thank you, guys. That's what I wanted to try tonight. You guys been wonderful. Thank you.
Awesome.
I
Appreciate
still can't find what I'm looking for.
it. Right.
Hey,
Oh, man.
anyway, what's up, Chuck?
We definitely have more comedians. It's like a wedding of all this great comedy, and it's time that we throw some rice, don't you think, ladies and gentlemen?
Yes.
Please welcome a wonderful friend of the show, Ned Rice.
Oh my God, really? Already? It's time for me?
Yes.
Wow. Listen, I've been away for a while. Mike Langworthy, did you get a haircut?
I did get a haircut.
Oh my gosh, I had no idea there was a barber college in Denver. That looks so good. So the guy was taking Pastel, I guess. That's great. That's one of those haircuts. It's one of those haircuts. You get a free lawn sign with that haircut. It's nice because people, you know, you want to know who you're doing. That haircut is. I had one like that a couple weeks ago. This haircut was so bad, I'm still getting phantom pains from where my hair used to be. So don't worry, Mike, it'll grow out. It'll probably grow out, Mike. I've been away because I was actually in the hospital. I had to have some surgery, and I found out, you know, those videos you see sometimes where a guy's in the hospital for some kind of surgery, and the nurse comes along and she's kind of nice looking, and lo and behold, much to his amazement, they start having sex. Those videos are totally fake. That doesn't actually happen in hospitals. None of the nurses seem to have the slightest, even the female ones had no interest in me whatsoever. So don't be fooled, and don't be like I did. Don't go to a hospital just for that. I just found out today I have to move to England, which came as kind of a shock to me. I have this intestinal disorder, and my doctor said, if you want to live, you have to go on a totally bland diet. So I'm moving to England. I said, Doc, that's a long way. How about Canada? Please. He goes, no, Canadian food has some slight traces, measurable of flavor. You have to have a completely bland, boiled, starchy, yutsy kind of diet. So looks like I'm off to England. And but luckily I can still do the show from this, so that's nice. I also found out that I have sleep apnea, so I have to wear a CPAP machine. If you're not familiar, imagine duct taping a live ferret to your face and then going to sleep. That's just that. It's you stick it on, you put your nose and your mouth in it, then you wrap it around your head like you're wearing braces. Again, it's got a long hose, goes to this machine, you fill it up with water, and then you turn it on, and it sounds like D-Day, really. It's quite noisy, and then so that helps you sleep. That's the whole point. I'm skeptical. I'm told that I have a sleep disorder. I don't know. I guess I have to take your word for it. I'm asleep. I don't know. I don't know that this actually exists. To me, the CPAP machine is very much like the cone that animals have to wear after they go to the vet. They claim there's a tangible medicinal benefit, but I think it's mostly about the shame, but letting you know you're a bad person and you do things when you're unconscious that you shouldn't do. So it's sort of shame based, and but I continue to wear it because I do as I'm told. So during this, as I've been recovering, I'm sitting around and we've all been going through this pandemic of some kind, apparently. So there's nothing on TV, so I started reading, and I've read like every book in my house. And I found this one just the other day. I don't know if anyone's heard of this. It's absolutely fascinating. It's called Mein Kampf by Adolf Hitler. Actually, the real title is Mein Kampf by Adolf Hitler, as told to Rudolf Hess, because you have to give credit to the ghostwriter. And I don't remember buying this book. I mean, I guess it was a wedding present or something. I gotta say, as autobiographies go, I think it's kind of a warts and all look at a man's life. And it was written in the 1920s. In this day and age, a lot of this would be considered kind of anti-Semitic, I'll be honest with you. So, but it's fascinating. But to me, the most interesting part was the acknowledgments. The part at the beginning where the author thanks people. Here's what he said. Here's what Adolf Hitler said in his acknowledgments. First of all, I'd like to thank the Jews. Look, I get it. You're Jews, not a big fan, especially considering you control publishing. But the truth is, without you, where would I be? I'd be just a guy with a bad mustache. So Mary L'chaim, or whatever it is you people say, and thanks. So I thought that was kind of classy, I'm looking forward to the audiobook. I think Jay Thomas reads the audiobook.
Oh, God.
If you're pressed for time, that's what I recommend on Mein Kampf. And looks like my time is up.
Yeah.
As always, thank you for listening, and I look forward to the round robin. Thanks, everybody.
Bam.
Yeah, that's great. Mein Kampf, it dips a lot in the middle of Mein Kampf.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It ends with a bang, but it sort of dips.
Tell me how it ends, Mike. Don't tell me how it ends. No spoilers, please.
No spoiler. Yeah, it ends with the smell of burning kerosene.
Jesus, everybody.
The dog dies at the end.
What we're going to do is begin a new feature here. Thanks to Round Robin Real Estate, where they're known for plus size sales figures.
And we are going to have a great time. I'm going to get this thing started. I don't
Right, pinch an inch on your closing costs in the month of March, everybody, and look up Round Robin Real Estate. Mike, you want to get going because there's 68 comedians that have jumped in the room to share Shakespearean porn titles, and there's only 24 Shakespeare plays. So let's go. What we're going to do, everybody, is folks are going to jump in and tell the jokes that were inspired by the topic of Shakespearean porn titles. Mike, I recall that you starred in The Lear King. Any Shakespearean porn titles to kick us off?
Yeah, I remember the speech I had. Blow winds and crack my cheeks. My first one is I'm actually going to clean up one of his sonnets because he wrote 38 plays, not 24. And
for Christ's sakes, do you really got to be a white guy about this?
No college.
Excuse me. It's called mansplaining.
Right. Thank you, aristocracy.
I'm cleaning up the rape of Lucrece to the three-way of Lucrece.
Oh,
wow.
I'm going to find it out. Then I'm going to go with all's well that ends with a facial.
I had balls well that ends well.
Right. Mine there was Al Swell that ends well.
Blue balls that end well.
Right.
I had All's well that ends well in my end.
All's
Mine
well
was
that
all
ends
well,
well.
ends well. Wife's come first compilation.
Hi, we got Dickie Bill in there. I see Ned, and then Jessica, it looks like you have one. Ned, what was yours?
All's well that ends swollen.
Hello, Jessica. Everybody, there's, as Mike said, 36 play titles. And how you gonna mock them all?
Are we gonna go around?
38.
I'm gonna try to go around for from person to person. Jessica, go ahead.
All right, Midcomer's Night Stream.
Hello.
Oh no!
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
I had a Midsummer Night's Wet Dream.
A Midsummer Night's Cream.
Yeah, I had a Midsummer Night's Cream.
Midsummer Night's Ream.
Hello.
Wow.
How many of you had Midsummer Night's Cream and Ream?
Yep.
Mike had that one. So I want to make sure we get names here. Stephen Young has joined us. And he's coming up in the show. Mary Kennedy's in. Everybody, feel free to chime in.
Fairies find a bottom. That's for
Say it
me.
again, Mike. I stepped on you there.
For the Midsummer Night's Dream, the fairies find a bottom, and
Oh.
we all
Ah,
remember Puck's famous line, "Oh, what tools these mortals have."
Wow.
And, no, my name is Puck, but what did you have in mind?
Loved you in Two Gentlemen Do Verona.
I had two gentlemen in Veronica.
Hello.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I did. I had Much Ado About Felching.
I
Oh.
had that.
Jesus.
What you do about nutting?
Much
Oh
ado
my God,
about
yes.
nothing.
Much Ado About Nothing. Porn star with the smallest dick in the world, but outrageously popular. I don't know.
A comedy of hairs. Oh.
Hello. Jeffrey Burton.
Comedy of
jumping in
air
there.
actions.
Say it again, Bob.
Comedy of air actions.
A comedy of hair actions.
No,
Ragu. Or-
As you lick it.
Hello. I had as you lick it. I had as you lick it. Anybody
Oh,
else?
nice.
And I had As You Like It in the Ass.
Hello.
Oh.
That reminds me of Titus Androgynous.
Titius androgynous. Titius andronicus.
Mary, did I stun you with this topic? I might not.
No, listen, I'm so tired and overworked. Mine is who's Beth? Anyway, there it is.
Right.
Jack Beth.
Naming of the Gerbil, starring Richard Gere.
Right. Love you and Macking Beth.
I loved my favorite is Othello.
Hello. I had O fellow.
Oh, hell no.
Little fellow.
Henry the 8-incher.
Hello.
Coriolingus.
Henry the 69th. That's different.
Oh.
Richard III, long for dick.
Hello. Thank you. Thank you, Dickie Bill.
Julius
Now it's-
Julius D's her.
Oh my God. Yale Hollander, star of Tag Teaming of the Shrew.
Merchant of Penis.
Damn it.
I
Right.
have that. Romeo ate Juliet out.
Romeo in Juliet.
I have Romeo, Juliet, and Juliet's friend from college.
Pleasure. Pleasure.
Oh my God.
I'm assuming everybody has a tale of two titties.
Oh my God, no.
Dickens.
Dickens.
Oh, it is Dickens. Which is another pornographic title.
Hey, sometimes your Shakespearean porns has a little Dickens in it.
Yes. Especially 12th Inch Night.
Anybody else have The Taming of the Spew? Anybody?
Hello.
I had the boning of the shrew, which is a little different.
The banging.
Thank you. Stephen Young, say that one again.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Did anyone have MILF night?
No fight, but I did have Malvolio's Cornholio.
Oh.
Isn't
What
that
about-
All's well
Dickie?
that bends.
So hard.
Ooh.
I know that Ned has one. I think Raghu had one. Ned, go ahead.
I just thinking that last one, didn't that debut at the Old Globes Theater? I believe it did.
Raghu.
Coriolingus.
Yes. I went with Coriolanus. I don't know.
Classy.
But who knew I wouldn't come up with Coriolingus?
loves labor's lust.
That's it. Bingo.
Yep.
Right? Has everybody expired their list?
Oh,
I've
I
got
have
one more.
Sadly not.
Yeah.
All right, I know Jessica has one more, and I think Yale did too.
I got
Vaughn, looks like you have one. So Jessica.
All right, Camlet.
Hello.
Hamlet.
You
Lamlet.
say Camlet?
Hamlet, like he's a cam girl, but he's
Yeah,
also
fucking A. That's too good. Yale, then Vaughn.
On a similar note, I have Whamlet, Bamlet, thank you, Hamlet.
Yes.
Nice.
12th nightstand.
Nice.
Vaughn.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I had Clamlet.
Oh my god.
Hamlet's Shanker or something
That is
in Denmark.
so funny.
I had a quote. Go ahead, Mike. Sorry.
Reading off, I got a list, man. I got shit.
All right, let's hear the list.
Okay, I've got one that's so bad.
Can't hear you. Wait, what was that?
Well, I took care of it. Somebody.
Time in Athens. Time out for ass ends. Cock ring Lear.
I had King Rear.
Yes. Oh.
Nice. Somebody's got a new password.
Falls in on
I had Romeo, run me some more.
Oh,
Hey,
like
we're hearing from Cece. Can you say that one again?
Oh, you guys can hear me now. Okay. Hi, guys.
Hey, Cece. Nice to meet you.
Hi. So what I have for my topic Shakespeare, I have Romeo. Romeo.
Yeah.
It really doesn't matter as long as you're moaning.
Right. I had a strong feeling our audience was going to participate in these, and I am just thrilled. Denny, you stay out of this so you keep your job. Cece, that was great, and I'm glad you got to chime in. I think we've reached the maximus of our experience.
Wait. Dumius Caesar.
Hello.
Yes, Caesar.
Merchant of Venice
Oh,
or
shoot.
Right. We said Merchant of Penis is a popular one for Merchant of Venice. This is our merchant. I don't know why Cupid has snuck in to here. Somebody tell the graphics department they have Cupid in the slides. When we sail aboard the I'm a Needy yacht, it tells me that it's time to give away some really cool prizes to our audience members. Cece, we've got gifts for you coming up. Where can you see great comedy? And where do we meet a lot of great comedians? At Open Mic. That's Mike's show on Monday nights. You can watch all of our shows on youtube.com/shows.
I just want to take this moment to announce that the first half of the open mic will be me doing the rest of my list of Shakespeare.
As always.
It's going to be fun for you to incorporate that in Jessica's introductions. coming up on this show is our 3.141 anniversary. It's technically our first year anniversary, but why not knock it out? We're going to spring break on March 21. It's going to be Lake Havasu versus Panama City Beach. That's going to be a badass episode. Jacob Jonas and his posse are chiming in there. We'll be in space on April 4th and conquering the worst gigs of all. The round robin for Gigzilla is that gig was so bad. So I think that's going to be very fun and popular. Jessica Misra, you're headlining May 16th, my big fat ApocaLips wedding. She's the only cast member of the ApocaLips who's seen the movie.
Oh, wow.
And 7 Brides for 7 ApocaLips. That's May 23rd. Stephen Young is going to headline that one. Lots of fun shows. If you just stay tuned to our mailing list, we'll be happy to tell you about them all. When you purchase VIP tickets, you help us support Elevating Connections. And our VIP today is Stacey Sanders from Elevating Connections. I got you a little bit of Groucho Marx. I'm not sure why, Stacey, but you get some Groucho Marx.
Jewish? Is that why? Maybe I don't know.
I just because of the shtick, you know, like who's the best at shtick ever? Groucho. So you know, and then I thought a little Rustic Cabin. I'm not sure why. I just thought, you know, how about a little Rustic Cabin for you, Stacey? This could be your calm and peaceful place. You know, maybe you turn it into Camp Two Belong. Not sure what you're gonna do there. And then your own dance studio.
With a punching bag.
Right,
What
with
would
a
I
punching
need with
bag
another
and
dance
one of those little things where you do the like the streamer gymnastics, which is really, you know, and then I wanted to get you these sticks. These are fondue sticks. So we got you some fondue, and if we're getting you fondue, probably you need a salad. So Chef Scapone is right in there with all of our best. And this was just popular, so we're repeating it. You get Mike going over Niagara Falls in a barrel. On the count of 3, everybody say we. 1, 2, 3. Whee! There you go. That was pretty fun. All the fun you can have as part of your general admission tickets. We see where you're on Instagram, Cece. We'll have to follow you there. That was good for putting that in the chat. Cece, these are your gifts. Those are your general admission audience members. Those of you watching on YouTube, you don't get any of these either. You have to come to the show to get the cool gifts like Cece did. And Stacey's here. We got the VIPs a Groucho Marx. So I got general admission a Grouchy Mark. Mark Hamill. Tonight you'll be eating with Mark Hamill. VIP's got a luxury cabin. So general admission, I got you a little cabin in the woods as well, but you have to walk up a big hill to get to yours. What can I do? There's Schticks and there's popsicle Schticks. So we got you, Chef Scapone made these, your very own popsicle Schticks. So probably goes best with salad. So enjoy your popsicle Schticks and a little bit of virtual salad. Okay, Stacey, we have fun stuff to do. Like we have to highlight your charity, and then we'll talk about all the fun stuff we have. We should talk about Elevating Connections. Stacey, can you tell us about Elevating Connections and the wicked awesome work you do, please?
Absolutely. Thanks, Chuck. Thank you, everybody. I'm Stacey. I'm the founder and executive director of Elevating Connections. We reunite siblings separated in foster care, which is what I'm going to focus on tonight. And the other piece of what we do is we raise youth voice for youth that have emancipated out of the foster care system, and we provide connection and support for them. But the siblings, we started Elevating Connections because of the sibling relationship. And it is the longest relationship any one of us will have in our lifetime, in most cases. And it's the key and the foundation to every other relationship that we have in our lifetime. if you think about that with your own siblings, if you have them, or if you have multiple children, you learn how to problem solve. You learn how to fight and make up. You learn how to fight for someone and build those foundations for relationships. And when we separate them in foster care, not only are we compounding their trauma from whatever they suffered at home, but we're taking away their people and the ones that we rely on for the rest of their lives. So Elevating Connections was started to support that critical relationship. And we do that by providing year-round programming, which has been a little more challenging in the last year for obvious reasons. However, we've still done it. We've run a summer camp. We still had our camp. We're planning Camp 2021 called Camp Tubalong, Colorado. We're going to have camp for kids who've been separated. They get to come together and just be kids. We do connecting events throughout the year to bring them together. We'll start those up in the spring when we can have them outside again. And then we do a lot of advocacy and education. And that's one of my favorite parts to do, is to explain why it's so important. We do this all as volunteers. I'm currently the unpaid executive director. We rely on donations and community support. And the impact that we have on the kids is huge. I have older youth who've emancipated out of care and who don't have a relationship with their siblings because they were separated. And they say to me, Stace, I wish you were around 10 years ago so that somebody could have fought for me and my siblings. And so that's why I do what I do. And we do a lot with Colorado comedy shows, and Chuck and Mike and Stephen and all of you who support us help fund some of our programming. So thank you so much for that. More to come. We have fundraising events coming up soon and camp coming, and we need your help. So thank you so much.
Bam. If you're watching on the YouTube, we've put the title back up on the screen. If you're listening on a podcast, elevatingconnections.org is where you go to donate directly to Stacy, or you can purchase tickets with us, and we donate 10% of ticket sales to Stacy's wicked awesome charity. We also donate 10% of private event bookings, for those of you who have those wicked awesome private events. Well, Stacy, thanks for sharing with us. Every week, we also like to highlight a terrific show that's on Saturdays on the Instagram at Dear Comics at the Bar on Instagram. And the star of that is here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Would you please welcome Stephen Young?
Hey everyone, thanks Chuck, thanks Mike. I'll speed it up given the hour. I'm just so excited. We're here on kind of the first anniversary of the pandemic. And I don't know when the official anniversary was. I just remember when Tom Hanks got it, because it really kind of takes an A-lister for me to for a disease to be credentialed. Rita Wilson wasn't going to cut it, I guess is what I'm really saying. But what do you get the disease? What do you get for a present on the first anniversary? I had trouble with those wedding rules, but I think for a disease, it's different. I think the disease that already has everything, all you can really give it is the CPAC convention. So I hope it enjoys that. I'll talk about that in a minute. Right now, I'm in Lent and I'm trying to figure out what to do this year. Last year for Lent, I gave up everything. But now this year, I'm trying to sort of scale it back a little. And I decided, I'm just going to give up that second beer, just sort of a moderate thing. I didn't know if I could do it. And, for a while, it was rough. But now, fortunately, beers 3 through 12 are going down smoothly. I just almost lose track of them. So that's fine. But the two things I did want to talk about quickly. I know I rant sometimes, Chuck and Mike, and I'm trying not to rant anymore, but I read this week that the Senate parliamentarian decided that a majority of Congress can't raise the minimum wage to $15. And I thought, well, man, oh man, okay, the parliamentarian must have, that sounds important. Well, how much do they pay the parliamentarian? Turns out $172,500 a year. So I think the parliamentarian, first of all, what a job, right? Because one thing I've noticed, I'm an American, we don't happen to have a parliament. So that sounds like a good job where I will just sort of, my parliamentarian views on something that doesn't exist here. Why don't we just pay the parliamentarians $7.25 an hour is what I'm thinking, because that's what the parliamentarian is saying we should keep. In fact, we should pay Congress $7.25 an hour. And, if we did, Lauren Boebert would be like, oh my gosh, a raise. I can stop giving people diarrhea. But here's what I want to say is, if your business cannot afford to pay people $15 an hour, your business stinks. You shouldn't have that business. Shut your business down. Honest to God, go down to Colfax Avenue and sell hand jobs. In fact, you get paid more than $15 an hour. I happen to know. But anyway, I'll move on quickly. The CPAC convention, it's down. A bunch of maskless morons head down to Orlando, and this year's theme is cancel culture. They're indignant. I mean, first of all, you should see this group of people. I mean, like the only black guy there this year, again, Herman Cain. And it's just not going over well. But they're concerned about cancel culture. And one of their big concerns is they've canceled the Muppet Show. And I hate to point out, that happened in 1981. But I guess they're just sort of, maybe the flip phone just got an alert, I guess is what I'm saying. And they're also upset about Mr. Potato Head is no more. Now they got rid of the gender potato heads, and that upsets these people. That's cancel culture. And I'm thinking, I don't know about you, but my Mr. Potato Head didn't have genitalia. What are these people doing at home? What are they affixing to their Mr. Potato Heads? My Mr. Potato Head was about as manly as Ken. I mean, there was just nothing down there. It was the hat that made it a man. In fact, G.I. Joe doesn't even have a penis. He does not. Because you know why? If you took a G.I. Joe and put a penis on it, you wouldn't have a G.I. Joe. You'd have a Kimberly Guilfoyle. Anyway, that's all I promised I wouldn't rant. So I hope I held true to that. I don't know. I might have been rocky in the middle there, but thank you.
You did great.
Awesome. Stephen Young, ladies and gentlemen.
Didn't cut your time.
Stephen Young. Buddy, we have a giant headliner here tonight, don't we, Mike? We did a good job. We had a lot of funny comedians, and then woohoo, called in a favor, asked a friend, and was like, come by the show, and she loves doing the show. So she's here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome Mary Kennedy. Mary Kennedy.
Oh, hi.
Yes.
Hello. Oh my gosh. So I am like out of my mind. It must be being a parent. I had no idea we were talking about porn names. That's why I was like, who's Beth? I haven't seen a porn since like 1999. I'm just letting you all know that I didn't do enough research. No, I am reporting live from Van Nuys, California. Help! 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 I'm on house arrest. I've been on here for 10 long months. I wish I had a fancy bracelet, but no. Anyway, I'm just hoping my husband takes out the trash. That's where we're at this moment. That's what it's done. It's done. I actually tried to spice up our marriage, and I bought a new bed thinking it would spice things up. It's just another place for laundry. Just another place for laundry. I was in season 7 of Shameless, you guys, for 6 episodes. I played New Fiona, an out-of-work prostitute who works for food. Yes, indeed. And, on Shameless, everybody on that show, they're a little scantily clad, and I was no different. And my husband, who's half Italian, wasn't sure if he wanted me kind of showing my later parts. And then I showed him my contract, and he said, go do God's work. And when you get your first big break, everybody thinks it was like overnight. And my mother-in-law was like so proud of me. She had to tell all the ladies at the senior center. She was like, my daughter-in-law just booked a show on Shameless. She plays an out-of-work prostitute who works for food. And her friend Jackie, a devout Catholic who's also hard of hearing, only heard out-of-work prostitute who works for food. So Jackie has a prayer circle every Friday to pray for my safety on the streets. I'm a real prostitute. People ask me what my inspiration was for the prostitute, and it was, and I'll tell you, Chuck, it was the prostitutes in the combat zone in Boston, Massachusetts. Because I went to school right by there. Like, that was Emerson College. It was like, there's no quads, just prostitutes. So, they took some classes and they used that. It's the Meisner technique or the method. Anyway, so yeah, I'm originally from Boston, you guys. And before I moved to LA, people told me that I might need to lose the accent. And the truth is I had to, because it was affecting my sex life, everybody. It was affecting my sex life. I'd have a night of heavy lovemaking, and I turn to the guy next to me and I go, "That's a wicked big pussy you got down there, huh? Huh? Go Pats. Go Pats." So I'm going to do a little riff here about the Boston accent, because we come from a long line of intellectuals. We have Harvard there, we have MIT, we have, Tufts, but you wouldn't know it by the accent. So when I first got my first house, it was in Boston, and the mortgage broker was like, "Sign here, sign there, sign here. Oh, I got to run. I got to go watch the Celtics at the Garden. All right, then, here's your keys. Good enough, good enough." And then, or I got a colonoscopy through Mass General from a Harvard doctor. And he's like, "I'm looking at your pictures of your colonoscopy. They're not as good as Larry Bird on the Celtics, but they're good enough. All right, go ahead. Rest here for a little bit. See you later." And then I got married by the priest, and he was like, "I now pronounce you husband and wife." Oh, look at the time. I gotta go and look at the pitch at the Fenway, and I need to get a dog and a beer. So I'll see you later, kids. Good luck. Good luck. And so that's the accent for you. And here's the thing, in LA, when I had my kids, I was looking for a good mummy group, because all my family's on the East Coast, and I didn't really find it, because in LA they have Botox for babies, Pilates for preschoolers. In Boston, it's good enough parenting. Good enough. Good enough. Your kid survives after a year. Good enough. You fed your kid frozen tater tots. Good enough. You taught your kid how to make a highball. Good enough.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I come from a little town 20 minutes north of Boston called Marblehead. It is 4.5 square miles, surrounded by water and regret. My parents got divorced, and my mom had to move back in with grandma, and we were poor, so I shared a room with grandma. I shared a room with my Irish Catholic grandmother.
Oh my God.
18 years old. Yes.
No
18 years old. There's nothing quite like a room with grandma. One side was a shrine to Jesus. The other side was a shrine to Duran Duran. Grandma was hungry like a wolf.
Hello.
Heyo. Anyway, yeah, no, I shared a room, and it was hard because, as a teenager going through puberty and all that stuff, and I was dating this guy who was a race car driver up in Epping, New Hampshire, Chuck. And was very hot. My father said if we got married, we'd split the brain trust in half. So he wasn't that bright, but gorgeous. And, we would fool around, and I would come home from, and as a Catholic girl, we didn't have sex before marriage, but we did everything but, everything but the Catholic priests, because I wasn't their type. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. And so anyway, so I would come home and grandma would be clanging her rosary beads saying, "I hope you didn't pull a Mary Magdalene. She was a whore. We named you after the Virgin. Remember that. Now go wash your face. Go wash your face." And but she also didn't like talking about sex. And she told me that I could get pregnant by sitting on a toilet seat. She always would tell me, remember to squat. And ladies, I didn't squat, and I got pregnant from a toilet seat, and my son is 21 years old. So see, miracles do happen. Kidding. Anyway, so yeah, and people ask me why I started doing comedy, and I'll tell you, I started comedy because when my parents got divorced, my mother started a band. My mother started a band, which consisted of 40-year-old divorcees singing hot stuff in locomotion called the Mood Swings. It's true. They were the house wedding band at the King's Grant Medieval Inn on Route 1 in Danvers, Massachusetts, right by the Cappies liquor store. And people always ask me when I tell them where I'm from, I go, you're right next to Salem, where the witch trials were. And I go, well, it actually was Danvers, and the witch trials are now that they are where the Liberty Tree Mall is. So if you go to a Wenzel's Pretzel, you are probably standing on Hester Pritchett's grave. Anyway, yeah, there you go. What else can I tell you? Oh yeah, so my mom's band. Like, I knew that we didn't have money and my mother had a band because my mother traded in our toaster for a fog machine. And she didn't go and buy us winter jackets. Instead, she just wrapped my brother and I in feather boas from the band and put us on the bus. And she would stick me next to a kid with a feather allergy. So I wasn't that popular. And I really knew we were poor when we didn't have any utensils. My brother and I shared a spork for Thanksgiving. We used cocktail napkins from the bar she worked at. And we drank orange juice on Saturday morning out of shot glasses. So I would have like 5 shot glasses of orange juice, drinking them. And then I get to the 5th one and I go, oh, that tastes like hepatitis. So I'm perimenopausal, if you don't understand what that is. That's when, women are even more invisible. That's what it is. Women are even more invisible. So I'm perimenopausal. And there was a time, guys, where I could dress at Ross Dress for Less, where I could dress like a whore cheaply. Now I've been sent to Chico's, everybody. Chico's. If you guys don't know what Chico's is the place that sews jewelry in your sweater. And it sews jewelry in your sweater because I'm hot flashing. They don't think I'm capable of putting a necklace over my neck and clasping it. No, that's how it is. But I did ask them, I said, could you sew my glasses and my keys in my sweater? Because that's what I keep losing. And they're not very nice. Like when you go into like a Forever 21, they're very nice to you, right? Me, they give me a protein bar and tell me to lose weight. But otherwise, they tell me, she says, can we talk about your Ted Kennedy chin and your Ted Kennedy nose? And I say, well, I am related. Let's do that. All of the tragedy, none of the money. And so she gave me this turquoise sweater, you guys. Well, it wasn't really turquoise. It was like a black sweater with turquoise all like glued into it. It was very, very heavy. Plastic turquoise is very heavy. And so now I'm seeing a chiropractor because I have whiplash. But my favorite thing about Chico's is their motto is, it's a Chico's kind of day. I'm letting everybody know it is never a Chico's kind of day. All right, then. Thank you so much. Good enough.
Nice. Mary Kennedy. Her son is from Flushing. I'm sorry. You don't have to. That was just terrible. Very funny. Mary Kennedy, everybody.
Oh, you're so nice. Thank you.
Mike, we had a huge show. Mary Kennedy was here. Ned Rice, Yale Hollander, Dickie Bill Wagner, Jeffrey Burden II, Von Sprecken, Raghu Adhibatla, and Jessica Misra and Stephen Young all made appearances on the show. Plus Stacey Sanders and our awesome audience member Cece chimed in.
By the way,
your friend Denny was here. We had a popular. This is a big deal.
Can I jump in for a second? Just for a second here.
Only 1 second.
Check the chat, folks, because Cece left her Instagram handle on there for you to follow her if you'd like to.
Awesome. So yeah, check the chat to follow Cece. She's very nice. Don't forget to support Elevating Connections. We like to, and we like that you do too. And if you've never been to our show, there's just a little bit more left. Mike has to do a sing-along. He leads a sing-along. He doesn't know the words or the tune, but he has to lead the sing-along.
The rest of it down.
One little gift here, Mike, just a little bit of comedy gold for everybody to just enjoy. And why not one last salad before you hit the road? Have some gold.
Let us spray.
And a salad. Thank you, Chef Scapone. That was more ApocaLips than you can shake a Schtick at, y'all. I think we did it. We did it. This is really fun. So
Hand
we'll
for
cruise
Chuck.
to our exits. Mike, what were you saying as we head to the exit?
Let's have a hand for Chuck, who produced.
Oh, thank you. That's so nice. And as we exit, be careful. The neighborhood around the comedy club has gone down the hill. There's the combat zone. Mary, your school is, I think, on the west side of this road.
Yes.
But there's lots of entrepreneurs, is what we like to call that. A lot of goods and services for sale, so feel free to hang out. Mike, I think the YouTube audience has been so good to us. We should let them hang out for the sing-along. So here's how our sing-alongs work, everybody. Follow Mike's Bouncing Golden Globe to sing along. He doesn't know the words or the tune.
Okay.
Here we go, Mike. And a 1 and a 2 and a woohoo!
Don't let babies grow up to be comedians.
Oh.
Let them
be doctors.
and
Because
doctors
doctors get the vaccine first.
Woo!
Mamas, don't let
your
babies grow up to be comedians.
Let
them
No.
be lawyers.
No.
Because
Lawyers
lawyers
ain't
ain't
to the
close
worst.
to the worst.
Bullshit.
Mamas,
Mamas, don't
like
let
20
your
more something.
babies
Mamas, don't let your babies
grow
grow
up to be comedians.
Let him
Let
be.
them be unemployed.
Because that pays.
That
pays
pays better.
Better.
Ka-doo-be-wah.
Oh, wow.
That's it, YouTube. That's all you got. More ApocaLips.